What was it like going through the public firing and, you have, first of all, losing friends, maybe even some family members, and then you're in the public eye. So there's this lady whom we've just seen swearing the president, that man, we were all saying it, and the way he said it with that authority and there's just so much panache. And then a few years later, then this happens to you publicly. What was that season like for you?
I think what happened to me is that because I knew I had not done anything wrong, my immediate reaction was to go on the defense. So that occupied me. I had no time to feel sorry for myself.
Oh.
Yes, and that's the way my head switches. The way to protect myself is if there's a problem, I start looking for the solution right away. So that actually consumes you, that you don't dwell on
pity party.
And if you've done, I remember I did the course, the training. It's called Peak Performance by James Gitau.
Yes, James, yes.
And one of the trainings you do is you walk on fire.
On fire, yes.
And when you walk on fire, what they teach you is that if you look at the fire and think about the fire, then your brain immediately sends water. That's how you get blisters under your feet. But if you walk on the fire and look where you're going, don't think about the fire, because if you think about it, it will consume you. But if you ignore it and think about where you're going. And I think for me, that's the one training many people must learn.
Yeah.
Don't think about the fire that you're going through.
No.
It will consume you.
Yeah.
But if you think, ignore the fire and think, where do I want to get to? And keep your mind on that. Because remember when you do walk on fire on that course, where you say ice cold, ice cold. And your eyes are supposed to be right ahead, never at the fire. That's what you do. And so I'm glad that I'd done that training.
Yes.
And it's believe me, it's magical when you do that.
So for you then, at that point in time, it was about vindicating your name, yourself.
Yes.
And clearing that.
Because for everything they accused me of, I immediately went into finding the documentation to support my view, defend myself. I appeared a lot on the media.
Yes.
Because I never let them say one thing and I didn't respond. And at some point, my mother said to me, just let it go, Mama. Just let it go. Don't go on TV anymore, let it go. And I said to her, no, Mom, just be my mother. Don't be my legal advisor. Don't be my PR manager. Just be Mom. Just ask me if I ate, if I slept well.
Wow.
Because that's what you should do as my mother. Just ask me if I'm okay. That's all I need to. Give me a hug. That's all I need. And because my mother couldn't understand the whole thing of me responding.
Right.
But I can't sleep if I don't respond.
So
every time they run a headlines in the newspaper on Sundays, I then told all the press, come to Norfolk. I'm doing a press conference in response. Then they would run my story the next day. No, but imagine if I hadn't.
Which is what I'm learning from you now. Because like your mom, most people will say, you know what, the noise will die.
Yeah, let it go.
But then your name still remains.
No, but they were going to write my story. That's the problem.
And you couldn't let them
I will write my own story. Because there was someone accusing me of corruption. And eventually I was vindicated. Imagine if I had let it go. The thing that would be hanging over my head now is that she's a corrupt woman. But I fought it out from the High Court to the Court of Appeal to the Supreme Court. Yeah, it took 9 years.
But the vindication came.
But it's nobody needs to go through that. I'm very convicted that no one needs to go through that.
Yeah.
If it wasn't the grace of God, I don't think I'd have survived it. I'd probably in Madare Mental Hospital now. So I don't think our laws should allow people to do that to people. It is wrong. It was by luck and grace that I survived. Many people don't survive it.
Why do you
Many
think
people
they did
don't
that
survive
to you?
it. It's ego. And so they came up with this plan and they said, the reason is I'd become too powerful. In fact, if you read the High Court judgment, the story is told by the judge.
Okay.
They called me Darth Vader. I'd never watched Star Wars. After that, I had to watch Star Wars. So apparently in Star Wars, I still quite didn't click the movie, but there can't be two gods. They said I had eclipsed the Chief Justice.
My God.
If you're not efficient, it's easy to be eclipsed. That's life. So that was the essence of it. And I would never have known that was the case. Because I wish he'd told me that, Gladys, I don't want to work with you. I'd have walked away. But don't call me a thief. because then I'll have to fight back.
You have to fight for your name.
Yes, yeah. And I remember telling people, I don't care about the job. It's my reputation on the line that I have worked so hard to build. I said, the job, take away the job, but don't take away my reputation. So at that time, I discovered later, when the emails were leaked, that this is what has happened.
Yeah.
And the emails have never been denied, but they got away with it. And they did not just destroy me or attempt to destroy me. There were 11 other young people who worked with me, whom they fired, who were collateral damage, had nothing to do with them. At some point, I begged them. And I said, leave these young people alone. You know what? Come after me. These were young people. One had small babies. One of them people had mortgages. Another one was auctioned because he lost his job for nothing. Today, they've been vindicated. There are others who refused to go to court. And today I'm asking them, I think you should. Because you destroyed many young lives. And I said to Willy Mutunga, I will forgive you what you did to me, but I will never forgive you for what you did to those young people. And you have children. You know, you don't do that to people.
9 years, but who is God? You're vindicated now.
Amen.
Yeah.